What's going on, YouTube? Claykeysalt back again with another My Hero Academia The Strongest Hero video, and today I'm going to show you guys how to play with your keyboard and even, that's right, your controller, PS4 or Xbox, whatever you guys want, to be able to play this game, and it works really, really well. Let's get into it. Alright guys, so I had a lot of questions on my stream about how I was playing with my mouse and keyboard, because it makes the game extremely fun to play when you're playing on a emulator, right? It's the only way you can play it is if you really use your mouse and keyboard to be able to map the keys. Along with, I learned how to use an actual controller to make it work. We're going to go over all that and show you guys how well it does work. So first off, you're going to need BlueStacks. I don't know I'm sure other emulators have button mapping. You can kind of take that and use it for what it is, but today we are going to be using BlueStacks ourselves. So I'll have a link in the description below for you guys to download BlueStacks. It helps me a lot if you use it. I am affiliated with them. So next up, we're going to head over here. Once you get it downloaded and you're in the game, I suggest you go to training. So you're going to click your hero from the menu, and you're going to go to training, and you get to go in here and have a sparring partner. And you'll have all the buttons you need lit up on your screen so you can figure out where to map them. You're going to go over and you're going to click on this little keyboard, and I'm going to go ahead and put the opacity up. It shows you where each of the bindings are. And you're going to go to Open Advanced Editor. So I'm going to move this up here to make sure you guys can see everything really well. And you're going to slowly, I'm going to talk through each of these things and show you guys exactly what you need to do where and so on. So I'm going to move this big guy over because he's like one of the biggest things. You're going to drag this tap spot to these markers that I have on the map right on the screen right here, and you're going to put them on top of it. For example, see this Q right here? All I did was take one of these tap spots and put it on top. And for me, I wanted that to be my Q. See how it says Q? I wanted that to be Q on my keyboard. I just clicked in it and I hit Q. Boom, there it is. Now, we're talking about the controller. Well, all you have to do is plug in your controller into your computer. It automatically loaded up for me. I think it did it through Steam, but it still loaded up. You click this little cogwheel right here. You go to Gamepad, and I want that to be X. Well, it goes by Xbox controller, not PS4. So X would be square, I do believe. So you'd click here and then tap the key thing, and you would hit whatever button you wanted. For me, it's square. So I would hit square, and it taps into that key. So now I'm going to go ahead and save and get out of here and go back into the game, and you can see as I'm pressing square, she does her Q ability, okay? And we go so forth and so on. And there's a couple of advanced things we need to go over here, but we will do that as we go on. So Q, for me, 2 is on W, because on my keyboard, I have to use W to move. As you can see right above my head, we have a trackpad, which we'll talk about. I use E for E. I use R for R on my keyboard. And then again, you can set it up however you want with your controller. All you have to do is put it on there, and you can have it set up for both. So if you want to play the keyboard sometimes or the controller, you want to click this, you want to go to Gamepad, and you just type in, like for me, it's Y, which I think is triangle, right, for the PS4. So I click that, and I would hit whatever button I wanted to. For me, it'd be triangle, and it would set it there, and it saves. Okay, pretty easy, right? And you do that for all the buttons that you want. You can see over here, I do have buttons here to the left. That is for switching in and out of characters while doing PvP. So I'm going to save this real quick, and we'll go over the more complicated stuff in a second. But we see we have the game here, and you can see that it does show you on the screen what you have mapped out and where. If we go ahead and click the gamepad, we can turn down the opacity, and that allows you not to have to see it. But if you forget what you have, you can go ahead and click this, but it lets it go away so you can have a better gameplay experience and not really show off all those nasty looking marks on your screen. If you click the controller, however, it'll show you what controller settings you have. So you can see I have left stick up, right stick up, left stick down, right stick down, all that stuff over here. And that's going to be for the stick. So you can see that if I move the stick, she moves around, right? For the up and down arrows at the top here, right up here, as you can see, that's for when I want to switch when I'm in PvP, right? Because in PvP, you can switch from the top there. And then for LB, which is left bumper, so you just hit the left bumper, and she's going to go ahead and float in the air. You hit the left bumper again to stop it. And that's going to be really simple and straightforward. Those are the easy parts. Now, the more complicated parts that people do have, I had trouble with, and we had to figure out, my mod Ice Freak had to help me with, was moving. So you want to grab this trackpad over here. The D-pad is what I use. I grab a D-pad, right? And I moved it right down here. And it already has it set up as WASD. You have to do it this way and put it right on top of there. That way you can cut diagonally. If you don't do it this way and you just use the tap buttons, the tap spots, and you lay it on there, it won't go diagonal and it won't feel good. So now that you lay that over there, you're going to do the same thing. It already has WASD here, but you're going to go to Gamepad. And it depends. If you want to use the D-pad, you use the D-pad for up, down, left, right. But if you want to use the stick, you just go up, left, down, right. So like, I could mess this up and just be like down, but we don't want that, right? We want that to be up, so I'll put up, and it changes it. I'm just pushing down or up on the controller. It's going to save it for that, and that's how you get to move. Now you may be asking, Clayik, oh, I got all my buttons down, I got the left, the right move down, but I can't move my camera with my controller. It's not going to be good enough. Well, you actually can. The next thing you want to grab is the free look icon, and it's going to look something like this. The free look icon allows us to turn our camera back and forth. So you want to put that somewhere in the middle of your screen. My mod Ice Freak seems to like it down at the bottom. I seem like I like it more in the middle. You're going to go ahead into settings here, and you're going to gamepad, and I made it. I don't know what the key does, but we bound it to push in the R3 button. You may want to use that on another key on the map because you're going to run out of things on your controller. But I bound it to right stick, left, up, down, right, all that good stuff. And then you have edge resist delay and swipe speed. So if you want it to go faster, you want it to be like higher sensitivity, you can turn that up. If you want it to be slower, you turn it down. You want to turn off show keys on screen, turn that off so that you don't see that on your screen as you're playing. So it's going to be the next step you want to get done when you're using a controller. You don't really have to use that for mouse and keyboard because your mouse can just turn it like this, but I'll show you what I mean. Now I'm moving the right stick. And yes, it can go up and down. Just in this PvP, it doesn't. So again, I'm going to take the controller now, and I'm going to start playing the game. So I'm moving around. I'm hitting X on my PS4 controller to beat him up. I'm going to go ahead and hit square to use her Q. I'm going to hit Y. I'm going to hit circle to do her E. I'm going to hit the right bumper to do her ultimate, which I don't have full, but you can see it trying to click there. And then for it says right trigger, I guess is what it's trying to say, but it's not right trigger. This is actually right bumper, but it's the right back one. So it's like R2. So maybe RT is R2. Is that why it says RT? It's not right trigger, it's RT. So that's what I'm using there, just moving around like this. And so pretty much everything is done. This feels so good. Like I might want to turn up that speed a little bit. It seems a little bit lackadaisical to me. Like maybe I want it turned up. But you legit want to be using a controller and play this game like a fighting game? You can with what I just showed you. Now there's one more thing we need to point out that you may need help with, and it is going to take a little bit of timing and a little bit of practice. You need to grab, when you're doing this, the last thing we have to have happen is to be able to use our support cards actively, right? Because you have to swipe that motherfucker up, right? So what you're going to do is, you're going to grab this swipe button right here, and you're going to make it absolutely massive. Now you're going to have to test this and try it out to make it work. And what I did was made it this big, and I moved the finger right behind his hair because everybody has this active card, and I put it right at the top of the box here. So you're going to do that, then you're going to head down to settings, and you're going to go to gamepad, and for me, I made it L3 in, so L3 and R3, so that's why it's RT, R2, I guess, and L3 and R3, obviously, not trigger. And then you press this in, and it'll put that button there. You want to make swipe and hold, turn that to false. It may be true, it may be false for you. Make sure that's false. So then we're going to save, get back into the game, and you're going to see me press this button. Oh, sorry about that. If I move, it doesn't work. And bada bing, bada boom, it swipes up for you, baby. So you can play the entire game with a controller right now. And this does kind of suck for mobile players if they don't have controller support. But for the emulator players out there and playing on PC, it feels even better. Like I'm going to hit the right trigger right now, right bumper. Does her ultimate. Man, oh man, does it feel good. The one thing I do want to mention is this is not a, I only will be using this if I do. I might be a controller and keyboard man. I have to see how I like it. I'll only be using this for fighting. Like when I'm actually doing a mission, when I'm actually in there battling. If I'm not, I'm going to be using my mouse and keyboard to move around. I'm going to exit stage. I'm not going to try to use the controller to move around the menus and to go ahead and do everything like that. That's not going to be me, right? It just doesn't feel like I don't want to have to deal with that. But now we're out in the open. I can show you guys looking up and down. See? I can look down and up, look around, move. You know, I can hit the what did I need to hit right here? That button right there to speed up. I'm still learning my controls myself. I just made them, and I can move around and stuff, and it's really cool. It's really cool that you could be doing this with a controller. So what I'm going to do is, I have my Discord link in the chat below. I'm going to have my exact layout right here saved. You can import it. So what you need to do is hit here, go to Open Advanced Editor, and you can click Import. So right here, Import. I'm going to export mine. I'm going to load it up to my Discord. It's going to be in the pinned comment section of the My Hero Academia page, and you can just load this bad boy up. And then you can go in here and edit it to your pleasing, but it's on the buttons that you need. Now, don't have the buttons right here where, like, you combo switch in PvP, but I will get that eventually. You're just going to have to figure out which buttons feel smooth for you, but you know how to do it now because I taught you in the video. So, overall, couldn't be happier with this, and I hope this really brightened your day and made your gaming experience better. If you guys like this video, give it a thumbs up. Comment down below if you have any kind of tips or tricks that I missed out on here that can make this experience even better. And subscribe for future MHA content, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.